For years and years, Seiko has been the center of attraction for the watch community, and I think they deserve it. Why? Well, that's because it's a fine example of Japanese craftsmanship and their watchmaking genius. Hey guys, I'm Siddhant from Your Watch Club, and I am also a fellow watch enthusiast just like you are. So do follow me on Instagram for some exclusive content and subscribe on YouTube for some really unbiased watch reviews. So I am here to talk about two watches from Seiko, which are the Seiko Monster and Seiko Tuna. And here's the twist. While these two watches look like Seikos, but they aren't actually Seikos, but are in fact derived from the original Seiko design and are also popularly known as the Alba Watches. Alba Watches were actually introduced in 1979, while they actually date back as the more affordable alternative for Seiko, which was launched specifically for the Middle East and Southeast Asia. The resurgence of Alba watches in India can actually be credited to Seiko because they wanted to grab a pie from the chart of affordable watches because Seiko had no presence in that category. In this way, they have elevated Seiko's brand positioning while cementing a place for Alba watches in the affordable watch category. Simply put, Alba watches are Seiko designs in essence which target affordability. So what you see here is the Alba AL4243, which takes its cues from the Seiko Tuna, and complementing this green dial is the 4371, which takes its cues from Seiko Monster. While the sense of design here may be different, they both have a stainless steel case through and through. The Monster is the larger one here with a lug-to-lug width of 52 mm, while the case diameter is 42.4 and a thickness of just 13 mm. The Tuna here comes in a slightly larger case size of 43 mm, but a rather shorter lug-to-lug of 49 with a 13 mm thickness. Both the dials are green, while the Tuna has an emerald green and a richer looking color as compared to the Monster. The crystal on either of them are mineral glass, but the Monster reflects more light, leading to a lower clarity of the dial when viewed from top or the sides. The topography of the Tuna includes an arrow-shaped hand, a sword hand, and also a lollipop hand. The day-date window is the usual stuff with a unique Roman numeral day indicator as well, which is quite unique. The indexes are nicely rounded with baton and triangle-shaped markers, which are all outlined with gold and are white in color with a basic lume from Seiko. The Monster has a mix of pencil and cathedral hands in a green dial with a day-date window which shows the day in Arabic and English. The indices are much larger in size and are filled with lume while being outlined in silver. The Monster has an inward sloping fixed bezel in brushed silver finish. While the Tuna has a rounded green bezel, this can be rotated in either direction while the sweep is smooth. The crown placement for either of them lies at 4 o'clock position, while the crown is really large in size, making it easier to use but aesthetically not so good. The case has brushed finish on the sides as well as on the lugs in both these watches, which makes it more scratch resistant. The stainless steel case back is screwed down with a nice shiny silver polish that goes cheaply with the usual literature and the dual wave pattern on the case back. The movement also is the Y676 caliber from the house of Seiko. In fact, this movement is found on all Alba Automatic watches, while this one is based on their 7S26 movement. Since 7S26 was discontinued a few years ago, they have renamed it to tag it along in the cheaper Alba watches. Pretty smart stuff, right? The Y676 comes with a 41-hour power reserve in a 21 jewel setup, while the shortcoming here is that there is no hacking or hand winding. Both these watches come with a 100-meter water resistance, which is nice to have. The lume shots of the Monster and Tuna also look awesome as they do a pretty good job under the dark. The Monster has a stainless steel strap that is larger in size, but it's a very regular bracelet while being low on quality. And you can also see that in the clasps that have a poor finish overall. Same story continues with the Tuna strap, which is a less wider stainless steel bracelet. Now I have a 7-inch wrist, so you can see how this fits on mine. With the features being covered exclusively, the Alba Automatics here are fairly priced, while the Monster comes for 11,000 and the Tuna here is priced for 11,500. Well, that's just around $150, which I think is amazing. The competition here is nicely stacked up with the usual automatic choices being the Boderies Voyager the Suggest SU1780 and the Timex Marlin Automatic alongside all the Alba Automatics that you'd find on their website. While there is a flurry of quartz watches in this category, automatics are running less in number because legacy watchmakers don't make automatics at this price, while micro brands are running a while. I think Alba is well supported by the brand it's backed by, and it's a formidable choice if we are talking about watches under the 15,000 rupee segment. The tides rule in favor of Alba on most occasions as they are neatly priced and are affordable for most consumers in the Indian market. However, there is one major downside in this case, and that's the quality. And that is because micro brands have a lot to offer, which many of these legacy watchmakers are not able to deliver because they are mass-produced watches. So the question largely remains whether you want to buy a high-quality product from a lesser-known brand, or you would want to go with someone like a Seiko. All Alba Automatics are similar on most counts, so it really comes down to your design preference. So if you're looking to buy some legendary Seiko designs but you don't have the budget, Alba Automatic is the best option for you. For those of you who aren't aware of Alba Watches or are elusive to this brand, you don't have to worry too much because this comes with a legacy of Seiko behind its back. If you're looking to buy a reliable brand, Alba could be your choice, but if it's excellence you seek, then you have to look elsewhere. So I am going to spend some more time with these two hotties in my hand until you decide which watch you want to choose. What are you wearing today?